everyone, so I just finished filming another video. I changed my shirt, so I can be in a different shirt. um, but so this video is going to be the anything but books tag, and I haven't done a book tag in so long, and I have been wanting to do so many more bookish type videos on my channel for the longest time. And so even though this is not a books tag, I have like 2 or 3 other bookish kind of tags that I want to do, but I thought this would be fun to do right now. I do consider this channel to be a booktube channel, even though I have a lot of other kinds of stuff on this channel. I started off with it being a booktube channel. That's, my book videos and my discussions are kind of like the more substantial videos that I like to put on here. And so, yeah, but anyways, let's just get into the questions. They seem like fun. So the first one, there are 10 questions. Yeah, the first one is name a cartoon that you love. And I wrote down Bob's Burgers. I used to watch cartoons a lot when I was a kid, we all did. But Bob's Burgers is a kind of more adult cartoon, and it's not as bad as like Family Guy or The Simpsons or something. It's really like the humor in it is not that dirty, which I really appreciate, and the characters are just so funny. And I have only seen the seasons that are on Netflix, so I need to watch the most recent season, because I believe that there's a season out right now. When I was little, I remember the first cartoon that I ever watched like religiously and every day when I would eat my cereal before I would go to first grade was Dragon Tales. Dragon Tales. I remember that was like the very first. No. There was Teletubbies was way before that. That is not a cartoon. That is a whole bunch of people inside of these big old Teletubby costumes. Anyways, but Bob's Burgers is so funny, and I totally recommend it if you want to get a good laugh, because it's pure. It's about a family. The parents, a dad owns a burger joint, and like the kids are always doing stuff. My favorite characters are Louise and Bob. I love Louise. She's hysterical. Bob is just, I relate to Bob. I do. And also Louise a little bit, but when I love their father-daughter relationship and just their own characters by themselves. I think they're hysterical. So the second question is, what could you do, number 3, what is your favorite song right now? So I wrote down Maroon 5's Cold. I've been listening to that like every day since it came out. I really love Maroon 5. They are one of the bands, people that I have been listening to since forever. I went to their concert in 2015, and it was amazing. I love it. I loved it. I would love to go to another Maroon 5 concert. Adam Levine, it's great. But yeah, I really love the beginning of that song where like the bass kind of drops a little bit, and then Adam Levine just cold, and it's amazing, and I'd love to sing along to it. And he's been releasing a couple of singles, so it's been like a while since they released a album, hasn't it? So album soon, I would love it. And also the other one that I wrote, because I listen to K-pop like every single day of my life since I became obsessed with it. And so Rap Monster and Whale's Change that just came out, he dropped that out of nowhere the other day. I watched it, blew my mind a little bit. I really love it. Namjoon is singing, and he's rapping in English, and he's collaborating with another artist that I haven't heard of, but I'm sure that he really admires. And it's just a really good song. They talk about social issues. They talk about just really good stuff. The lyrics were just really good, and it had a really good like rhythm and beats, and the music video was pretty cool. It was honestly, it wasn't a stereotypical music video, but it's a lot of like Namjoon's rapping and Whale rapping and like a couple other people in it who are supposed to represent different things, and it was really cool. Like I said, he dropped that out of nowhere, so when I watched it, I was like, whoa, that is amazing. Yeah, so I've been listening to that a lot because I really love that song. But I also I listen to so many different things. Not really. I listen to the few things that I like, and then I listen to them over and over again. But yeah, I think I mentioned this. I recently discovered Gallant, who is amazing. He's on tour with John Legend right now. I know this because I looked it up to get tickets, and they were sold out. But I've also been listening, let's see, I have playlists. I've been listening to Gallant a lot. I was listening to a lot of Johnny Swim because of their newest album. I've been listening to, Panic at the Disco. I'm going to their concert on Sunday, and I'm super excited. So I've been listening to a lot of Panic at the Disco. I know the set list, so I've been like listening to those so I can like either sing along or just know what's gonna happen. I listen to K-pop every day. So I've actually been listening to a lot of EXO, which is funny because they haven't released anything like new recently. But I love Call Me Baby and Love Me Right. Those I've been listening to those like nonstop. I don't know why. But yeah, so number 3, what could you do for hours that isn't reading? And honestly, I can binge watch TV shows and movies for several hours, and I know this because I've done it. And I know you all have. Netflix asks you if you're still watching something, and you say, yes, Netflix, I am. That was like the only thing I think of. I feel like that's going to be a lot of people's responses because I'm not very active. I could swim. Oh, I can be at the like beach or pool for hours. I can swim forever. I was always the last kid out, and I still kind of am. I go to the beach with my friends. I haven't last year, but they'll all leave me in the ocean, and I will just be like Supermaning by myself. I'll be like, hey guys. But yeah, that's one thing that I can do for hours is swim. I love to swim. Number 4 is, what is something you love to do that your followers would be surprised by? I don't know. I don't know. I know I've mentioned this before, but I played soccer for 12 years. Yeah. But yeah, soccer is my favorite sport. I've been to one actual like professional game, and it was dope. I really want to actually get into soccer, like get into professional teams and stuff so I can like root for somebody. I know, you know, Ronaldo, everybody knows him. But yeah, like I said, I played for 12 years. I was a defender for the majority of it because that was what I was best at. I cannot run that much for that long, and so they put me forward towards the beginning, and I sucked. And I wasn't a good midfielder because midfielders have to kind of be defenders and forwards. It just depends on where the ball is, and so they have to run a lot, and that's something that I'm not great at. And I also didn't like being goalie because you're like the last line of defense, and if they make a goal, then it's like, my bad. And so I just really like being defender. I felt like it was a really aggressive position, and I am pretty strong in my legs, especially. On several occasions, I've actually made goals from the half line, and it was cool. You know, as a defender, you kind of just got to get the ball out of, you know, by your goal. And so several times, well, like the few times that I've done it, I was at the half line, you know, and the ball came rolling towards me. I kicked it, and it went in the goal, and I was like, what? But yeah, that was really cool. I miss playing soccer. They just built this soccer field right next to the parking structure where I park at school, and so I pass by it every single day, and I always see people playing, and I'm always like, can I join you guys? But yeah, soccer, I don't know how surprising that is. I know I've mentioned it before, but that's one thing. The next question is, what is your favorite unnecessarily specific thing to learn about? Ooh. So I wrote that I really love learning about the specific little things in history, like the things that they don't teach you, not necessarily the things they don't teach you, like hidden figures, that kind of stuff they don't teach you, but like the little just specific things about like maybe the people in history. Like I took a class last semester, and I learned that the Titanic, I love the Titanic. I think everybody is pretty much obsessed with Titanic, not the movie, like the maybe the movie also, I love the movie, but like the whole Titanic in history, I think it's really fascinating. And so I learned something last semester in, I forget what kind of class it was, but that the first class people were sending out so many messages, you know, because back then they only had I'm gonna look stupid, I don't remember the name. You know what I'm talking about. They were sending so many messages out, and so that night there was so much traffic that they like somehow weren't able to get help in time. So I just think that's so fascinating because it's like so many people would have been saved if it wasn't for this one little thing, and that's just something that I never knew, and it was just really interesting. And so stuff like that like is really fascinating to me. And like, you know, when you watch documentaries and you learn a little something that you didn't know, and okay, I think that's what I mean, learning the micro and the macro in regards to like history. I really love that. All right, number 6 is, what is something unusual you know how to do? I know how to take naps in the middle of the day like a 9-year-old. That was a weird thing to say. I don't know. I don't really know how to do anything that's like super weird. I know how to flip tortillas with just my hands. That's not an unusual thing. That's just like a Mexican thing. I don't know. I'm gonna have to learn how to do more things apparently. But number 7, yeah, name something you've made in the last year. For this one, I couldn't really think of any. Wait a minute. Okay, so this isn't something that I made recently. I made this when I was in 7th grade. So like almost 9 years ago. And in my 7th grade science class, I don't know if I've showed you, like put this in a video or not, but I'm so proud of this. And so in 7th grade in a science class, I believe we had to do a periodic table of some sort. And so I chose to do the periodic table of Harry Potter. So, this is something that I did and that I'm very proud of. And so, as you can see, I have all of the characters. So for group 1, I have Voldemort and his followers. So I have Voldy, and then I got, you know, the rest of the gang right there. Group 2, I have Malfoy's family. So Malfoy's family. Group 13, I have Creatures of Harry Potter. So I have the Dementors. I have Dobby. I don't know. Apparently my printer back then wasn't that great. But for group 14, I have Harry Potter's friends. So I have Hermione, I have Luna, I have Neville. Group 15, I have the students of the Triwizard Tournament. I was very clever, wasn't I? Group 16, I have members of the Order of the Phoenix right here. Group 17, the Weasley family. So I didn't put Harry. I didn't put Ron in the friends part because he belonged over here. And last but not least, I have group 18 Hogwarts teachers and stuff. So I got all the gang right there. And I had this up on my wall at one point. I'm so proud of this. My teacher gave me 100. She loved it. She also loves Harry Potter. But yeah, this is something that I made. Okay, so number 8 is, what is your most recent personal project? I wrote my document your life videos. Those are kind of personal projects that I do every month. You know, those videos where I put up just like what I did during the month. I really love making those videos. I think they're a lot of fun to make, and they're really fun to look back on. And I haven't gotten tired of making them, so I just really love doing those. So I consider those a personal project. I really wanted to buy that expensive Mac editing, but then I looked it up and it's like $300. So, but yeah, for number 9, tell us something you think about often, maybe while staring out of windows. And honestly, I think of like where I'm gonna be in the future. Like, I think about where I want to travel to, what I'll hopefully be, where I'll hopefully be career-wise. Like, I don't really daydream. I just like wonder, like, where am I gonna be 10 years from now? Where am I gonna be 5 years from now? Like, how is everything gonna work out? And that's kind of like what I think of. And last but not least, I've been saying last but not, I've been doing that. But number 10 is, give us something that's your favorite, but make it something oddly specific. So this is kind of weird. So I really like to eat bean and cheese burritos, and this thing that I do that I like doing when I eat them is I will get a side of sour cream, correct? And I will squeeze out all of the beans from the burrito and like make a little pile and just leave like a little layer of beans in the burrito. And then I will kind of like I will alternate between eating a bite of the beans and sour cream and like flour tortilla and sour cream. And that's just how I eat bean and cheese burrito. And everybody that has seen me do that makes fun of me for it and thinks that it's weird. But yeah, that's my favorite way to eat a bean and cheese burrito. I don't think I would do that with any other kind of burrito, but bean and cheese, that's how I like to eat them. And lastly, say the first thing that comes to mind, Domino's. Don't know why. That's weird. Yeah, those were fun questions. That is going to be a fun tag to upload. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Dumbledore says goodbye!